Hi, welcome to the Tran Designs podcast. I'm your host, Melissa, also known as Anansi on Ravelry, and on Instagram, I'm Tran Designs. Today is Friday, February 23rd, 2018, and it has been like 5 weeks since I recorded. I know, shh. I'm not really sure how that much time has gone by. Fridays have come and gone. I'm like, oh, I need to record, and then the day is gone. And then the next Friday, I'm like, I need to record today. Poof, the day's gone. So I'm here. Quinn's here. We're gonna deal with maybe her interfering a little bit, which is all right because she's super cute. Either way, I'm recording on my tablet today because my computer camera just totally sucks, and I don't have the money to buy a new webcam right now, mostly because my podcast brings in no money. So we're trying to get out of debt, and so I can't justify the cost of the webcam for right now. In the future, maybe, but just not right now. Sorry, I forgot to write something down. I do have a couple notes for today to try to cover. I'm not going to try to cover 5 weeks. You guys know how it is. If I have a big space that I miss, I just kind of pick up where we left off and move forward. And there are a few things that I'll tell you about. Otherwise, we're just going to kind of go from here. So, that being said, let's jump into the last few weeks, what's been going on. I did start volleyball reffing again, which has been a lot of fun. There's club ball going on right now, so they have a tournament every Saturday. So I've been reffing on Saturdays around the valley. I've only done 2 so far. There have been 3 weeks. I've done 2 of the 3, and it's a blast. It's getting me back into it. If you'll remember, I hurt my foot back in October, and I've talked about it a few times since then, and had to stop reffing because I couldn't stand for the multiple hours at a time. And I still, because we're doing 4 games back to back, I'm hurting pretty good by the end of the day, but it's still good to get back into it. I'm learning more. I feel like I'm getting stronger. She's eating a fruit cup, so she's kind of loudly enjoying it. Belle, stop chewing on that. Stop it. Anyway, I feel like I'm getting to be stronger in reffing and learning more. So, anyway, it's a lot of fun. Mark that off my list. I've also, in the last couple of weeks, started working a little bit more at Panera. I used to work Monday through Friday, but cut off. It's okay. We don't have that one anyway. The other pieces got thrown away, so you can throw it away. Let me see. I know it's one of the other pieces got lost. So it's from the dollar store. We can get you another one.
Well, it's mean.
She wasn't trying to be mean. It just smelled good. Okay? That's why we need to keep stuff up off the floor. Anyway. Okay, just throw them away. It's okay. So, I was working Monday through Friday, and stopped working Mondays and Tuesdays because those are the days that Jake is off, and I was working during the day on those. And then was working Wednesday through Friday, and then stopped working Wednesdays in the fall because I was reffing and coaching on Wednesday nights. And so then I've just been working Thursdays and Fridays pretty much since September, I guess. But then I found out that on Mondays and Tuesdays, well, every day, but because I can work Mondays and Tuesdays during the day, they have essentially a lunch shift that's 11 to 2 or 11 to 3. I can do that. It's not all day. I'm not gone as long. I can still see Jake. I can still, be home when the kids are here after school, but I can make some extra money. So I said, hey, I can work those. I made myself available. So I have been doing that, and it's good because I'm not tired when I get home, really, because I haven't been gone that long, all that. So it's working out really well. And I do want to say, having that with the reffing adds up to quite a good extra chunk of money each month that is helping us pay off the student loans even faster. And since we last spoke, I have paid off another one of my student loans. I have them broken up because, you know, they're all individual, but I make one payment that's divvied up amongst them. When we got our first check after paying off the car, I was able to pay one off because it only had like, I don't know, $350 or something. It was a really small one, so I just paid that off really quick. Well, this next one that we had coming up, I figured it would take, you know, a month plus a little bit of an extra to get that paid off. Nope, was able to get the money together to pay that one off, boom, all at once. And I will actually add a little video that I put together at the end of this. I'll put it up there to show me kind of filling in my thermometers. I printed out, you know, one of those payoff thermometer things for each of them. So there's one that's already colored and full on the back of my door right there on the other side of that coat hanger. And then the next one is also on the door. So I moved the one up in the corner and taped it there so it'll stay. And the next one is up and has like 5% colored in on it. So hey, it's still moving. It's still moving. All of my ref money, 100% of that is extras. So, and I get a check essentially each week from each of those. And so when I got it, I took my tithe out of it, paid that, and then all the rest of it, boom, went out of my student loan. And I'm going to do that each week. Just boom, 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 boom. And like, I'm not going to save up and make these big payments. I'm just paying them as they come into my account because I want the money in and gone, in and gone, in and gone. You know what I mean? Anyway, super exciting that I was able, that we were able to get that paid off, and it's a little more money than what we were planning, and so it'll get paid off even faster. Right now, being concerned, I'm totally geeking on you. I'm sorry. I'm not sorry. Sorry, not sorry. If you're going to watch this, you're watching for me. I totally geek out on the money stuff because I'm excited that we're getting out of debt. So fast forward a couple minutes if you don't want to hear what I'm going to say. But I did the math. I have a loan payoff calculator online that I found that's really good. And paying just the difference in the new house payment from the old plus the car payment would have had us paid off in June of next year, 2019. Well, when I include that plus the money from reffing and working a little bit extra, that has it paid off by Halloween of this year. Secretly, my goal is like September, which now it's not really secret because I told you. But on paper, I'm planning on Halloween. In here, we're going for September, right? You guys are going to cheer me on, right? So you're not going to see a bunch of new stuff coming in. Jake and I do each get an allowance out of our pay each month. So, no, thank you. I had some last night. We do allow ourselves to have a little bit of spending money. I'm going to grab a napkin right here. Here you go. Each paycheck, so that way, you know, we can go get fun little things. And that's in accordance with Dave Ramsey's Total Money Makeover. He's like, give yourself some, just blow it on whatever money, just fun money, because you go crazy if you never spend any money on anything. So it's a very conservative amount. If we want something big, we have to save up for it, just like with anything else. So yeah, but you're not going to see a bunch of stuff coming in, but that's okay. Probably at the retreat, I'll probably just blow all of my money at the retreat. So, all right, enough of that. I did want to say, though, kind of along those lines, but not exactly. One of the posts I put on Facebook, and if you're not friends with me on Facebook, you can find me under Melissa Transtrom. One of the things that I posted was it was a chart that showed how much money people spend on food each month. Like if you have one person living in your house this month, much, 2, 3, 4, stop please, and so on. And my friend posted it first, and I was like, people spend how much on food every month? Like, I was really blown away. And a lot of people were like, yeah, that's pretty, you know, par for the course for our family with that size, da, da, da. And I'm like, something's going on here, because we spend hundreds of dollars less a month than what it says we should be for the number of people who live here. And while Idaho's grocery costs are lower than, you know, the big cities and things like that, these are people who live here who were saying that's how much they spend. And I was thinking, okay, if I was spending that much on food, like, I don't even know what I would spend it on. A bunch of junk or pre-made stuff? Like, I don't even know. I don't know how they spend that much money. And so I responded and I was like, I'm at, you know, maybe 75% of that, depending on the number. So then I reposted it onto my Facebook page and was like, hey, where do you guys stand? Because here's where I stand. And people are like, how on earth do you spend that? And I'm like, how on earth do you spend what you do? So I was just wanting to let you know, I did do a Facebook Live video. It cut out at the end, unfortunately. My internet decided to act up. It hadn't been acting up for weeks, and then all of a sudden it decided to stop working. But anyway, if you, my profile is public, I'm pretty sure, on Facebook. So anyways, if you wanted to go check that out and respond, I actually, what I did was I went shopping and then I came home and did a Facebook Live video about all the things that I bought, and just talked about the kind of meals that I do and whatnot. So anyways, if that interests you at all, and if you want me to, I can download it and post it onto my YouTube channel here as just kind of a supplemental video, so just let me know, or if you want me to talk about that more, I'm more than happy to. Along those lines though, I've been cooking some new crock pot meals that I found online. I came across this, something like 25 super easy crock pot meals or something like that. And I've been working my way through a few of them. Not all of them sounded good, but some of them really sounded good, and they have been excellent. What I made last night was something where I was like, oh shoot, this meat expires today, and we have this other stuff, and I just threw it in the threw it in the crock pot together. It's one thing I like about using that. I can just throw things in, and usually it ends up pretty good. So anyway, I think I have covered everything. The kids are doing well. Anansi and Roma are both done with basketball, and track is starting today for Anansi. Ski team is done, so we're going into the last part of the year here with just one child doing one sport. Oh, and Eli played basketball. I think I talked about that in my last one that he had just started. Now he's done. So he did really well. He grew a ton, not this way necessarily, but in his abilities. So that was a lot of fun. He does the rec center here in town offers a 5-week thing. Don't let Belle eat her food, please. Don't let Belle eat Lucy's food, okay? So yeah, we're going into track, and Anansi's gonna have practices 6 days a week. But it's just one kid. Just one kid doing practices, which is fantastic.
I got it up here so Belle couldn't eat it.
Okay, thank you. She's outside too. Just Lucy can eat it, right?
Yeah.
Good job. Thank you for helping her.
I'll feed it on the floor for her.
Okay, that sounds great. Can I have a drink really quick?
Yeah.
Okay.
I just needed a little time time for it.
I bring her home blood orange lemonade from work when I come home from working. All right, the last thing I wanted to talk about was that retreat registration is closing on March 1st. If you've been on the fence about coming and haven't been able to really just pull the trigger, time's running out, so pull the trigger and register. There's still plenty of room. We have a good amount of people coming. We have a lot of new people this year, so please, please, please come. I know you would have fun. So if you need any more information about that, join the Fiber Fanatics Unite retreat group on Facebook and Ravelry. or email me, fiberfanaticsunite@gmail.com, if you have any other questions. I've gone over the details before on the podcast, so I'm not going to go over them again, but just wanted to let you know that that is coming up. All right, let's jump into the knitting since we're 15 minutes in and that's why you're here. This is a work in progress, but it's also under designing, so we'll talk about it a little bit later. Really, the only other thing that is actively on the needles is my second sock. I have not been in a hurry to work on these. I started the first one at one of Anansi's games and mostly have just worked on it when I haven't been at home. This is the gunmetal colorway out of Fiber Nymph Dyeworks Bounce Base that I got when I was over at her house 3.5, almost 4 years ago now. So long ago. Anyway, just plain stockinette, fish lips, kiss heel, haven't woven in the end. Nice long ribbed cuff, nothing fancy. Like I said, I've been working on it at basketball games. The second one is done up to the ribbing. And I've done, I did one row of ribbing so I could get my DPNs on here. Yeah, I ended up with a little stripe right there after doing the heel, and I kind of ended up with the same thing on this foot. I don't care. Nobody's going to be looking that close. Everywhere I go, though, everywhere I go that people see me working on this, they comment on the color and how much they love it. And so I texted Lisa and I was like, I get comments on this everywhere I pull this out. Just so you know, it's oh good. Just so you know, everywhere people are loving it. So, anyways, it'll be. She'll get to eat later. That was her breakfast. She'll eat dinner later tonight. Okay.
Does she want some of her food?
Yeah, she'll get some of her food later tonight. We feed them later tonight. Anyway, like I said, nothing fancy. Size 1s and 0s, 2.25 and 2.0 millimeter needles. Cramming it in my little knit on pearl bag that I got when I stopped by there when I was driving through a couple years ago. Let's see, anything else about that? Nope, I'll be able to enter it into her customer appreciation points thing when I'm done. Let me see here. Quinn, that makes a lot of noise. Can you stop, please? Yeah, that's all I have to show you as far as on the needles. Here, come over here. Well, I'm holding it up so they can see. She has a heart necklace. Where did you get it from?
The doctor.
The doctor, the dentist, right? After you got your teeth cleaned. Yeah. Do you have nice white teeth? Yeah. All right, here. Can you go play now so I can finish talking?
Wait, can I talk first?
Yes, climb up here and talk for a second.
I'm playing with my toys today, and I made a big mess.
No, you didn't. It's not too bad.
Okay.
No, climb down. I'm going to talk.
I love you.
Bye. Go.
Bye. See you later. You like my necklace?
They like your necklace. Go, please. Told you, I knew she'd come in. Okay, so I went to a new knitting group that I found. It's not new, it's new to me. I went to a new to me knitting group at the library. The local library has one on the 2nd and 4th Tuesdays of the month. And this sweet old lady held up this poncho that she'd made. It's the Dragonfly poncho, free pattern on Ravelry, and it was so cute. And I was like, I have to make that. So I came home, looked at my yarn. Hold on, I know I'm gonna hold it up though, please. And so I made one. It's crocheted, as you can see. Oh, that's really blown out because these are kind of a goldish color. Let's see if the color will reset here.
Mine.
It is yours.
Yeah,
I wonder. Hold on, please. I wonder if I turn this way a little bit.
And this is broken.
Okay, stop, please. Stop, please.
Let me have that.
Go play and stop. You're gonna knock this over. Thank you. Let's see if I hold it up now. Yeah, that's better. So see how there's these dragonflies? Well, I only had one skein of this color changing yarn that my friend had given me, And you just do these 2 rectangles and then stitch them together. And so I weighed it out and did half, and then I had this gold that I finished the other half with. And then I did the other rectangle the same way, did half and then finished with the gold. So the gold went, goes with it, and well, goes with it well enough. The neck right here was really big on Quinn and like falling off of her, and so I did a couple extra rows. It was still falling off, so what I did was did just a couple short rows across the back and then went around one more time, and it fits her really well. And it's actually still kind of big, believe it or not, with it being this small. So that was great. I was able to just add that on, and so now she has a nice 100% acrylic poncho. Do you want to put it on?
Not yet.
Not yet? Okay. So anyway, and it's nice and big on her.
I'll show them later when we wake up.
Okay.
Go back.
Quinn, be quiet. I'm still talking. So, yeah, she'll be able to wear it for quite a while because it's still big here and it's nice and long on her. It's really long. So, that is my only FO. I do have some spinning to talk about though. I brought this over here to show you. The fleece that I've been working on for over a year is complete and has been soaked and all that kind of stuff. And I have even, I hand wound these on an Ostapin into cakes. I have 673 yards of,
I like it cookie.
yep, of about a bulky weight. It ended up really plumping up, and I'm okay with that. It turned out really nice. I did a true 3-ply. I do have one little bit. I ended up having just a little bit left on one bobbin, and so I did a Navajo ply on that. So I didn't wind it up because it's so small. I don't know if I'll need it. If I do, then I'll use it. It is a little bit of a different weight than the others, but if I needed it for just, that much, I would be able to get by. I think because it's bulky weight, I was like, why are there only 3? There's a 4th one back behind here. Because it's bulky, I'm pretty sure I have enough for a sweater. And it's not itchy. I thought it was going to be scratchy because when I was spinning it, it felt pretty itchy. But, untwisting it a little bit when I was plying it and just having it plied with the other, it's just that much pokey. And I'm pretty sensitive. So I think I'll be able to just make a sweater out of it. Something I love, I don't really love textured yarns, but this one I really love because the texture in it is just these heathered bits, and I cannot wait to see how it knits up. The reason I wound it is because I'm going to knit with it right away, because I've had this in process for a lot of years, and I want it to be done being in process and be a product. So anyway, plus, oh man, it was fun to wind that. I love hand winding cakes, especially with bulky yarn. So anyways, those are living in my Knitting's My bag. And the other spinning I have, so I got these orange Rolags last year at my retreat. I don't remember what the fiber is. It reminds me of like a Wensleydale because it's long hair, but it's wool. You know how Wensleydale is those really long locks. It ended up not being very much. I don't know how many ounces it is. I could weigh it, but it filled up like half a bobbin. And I was like, well, I want to make the yarn, go as far as I can. And it is so prickly. Oh my gosh. Like I can barely stand to touch it with my hands. So I'm glad there's not a lot of it. It's still cool looking though, so I'm going to show you. But to make it go longer, what I did was totally copied Lisa, which I've been wanting to do for a while, and love that she's been talking about it on her podcast, which is 90% Knitting, because I've been wanting to do it, and then she got me in the mind of doing it. I took, okay, it's totally going to blow out. Let's see if I can reflect some light here. No, it's because it's orange. And it's not even that orange, but I want to show you, if I cover up my face, maybe it'll focus here. No, it's just going to focus on everything but the yarn. So I applied it with a red sewing thread. Nope, dang it. It's not gonna, it's still focused on everything behind it. Oops, see, there's me. Still in focus. So, anyway, you can see that it has a really cool texture to it. I will open up the hank. So it kind of has a boucle type of look because of the thread just wrapping around. It was a lot of fun to spin. It was an easy spin. I worked on it while watching the Olympics the other night, the women's gold medal hockey game. Whew, I was up late that night, but man, was it worth it. Okay, don't eat it then. Oh my gosh, so pokey. So I'm thinking what I'll probably do is make some sort of like a little monster or so, you know, something that can display this, but that I can just put up on a shelf or something. If you have any suggestions, let me know. Yeah. Anyway, I do like the look of it though. Okay, Quinny.
We got student loan.
Okay, I know we did pay off another student loan, didn't we? I did tell them. Do you want to tell them? Come here.
We got another student loan.
We got another student loan paid off, huh? You do a little bit. Step over here, please. I'm almost done. Let me get through this. So, anyway, there's that. I thought I remembered roughly 70 times around my nitty naughty as I was pulling it off and kind of counting. So, that's about 140 yards. So yeah, I could make something cute and little. And it does have these little pops of other colors. Like there's this kind of green, and this is more true to color on my screen. Yeah, see, she did make a little bit of a mess. And see how my bookshelf is all in disarray? She feels the need to play with like those pretty things. She just like moves them around. I don't even know. There was a chunk. I doubt we'll be able to see it on here. I'm spinning, and all of a sudden this really dark chunk comes out, and it was really cool. Anyway. So yeah, if you have any ideas, please let me know. The last thing for spinning I want to show you is actually some alpaca that is still on the wheel, but I'm done with it. I got this when I don't know if you remember a few years back, I spun a bat and entered the yarn into a contest and won. Then the next year went back to the same event, entered the shawl that I made, and won again. This is from the first year, from the winning yarn, and it's a locally milled alpaca, nice and soft. But you can see there's just this one bobbin worth. So I'm kind of leaning towards plying it again with some sewing thread, and I have a Joann's coupon. And what I really would like to do is get some of the fun metallic thread and wrap it around there. I think that would just be so cool. I love spinning alpaca. I spun a lot of that during the women's hockey game. It was really intense, and I don't think I've ever spun that fast in my life. So anyway, yeah, I don't want to Navajo ply it because it is only the one bobbin worth. I wouldn't end up with very much. So I think it would be fun to get just a fun variegated metallic thread and put that with it. So anyway, stay tuned and we'll figure out what I do together. Lastly, I want to talk about designing. Do you remember that I was going to start, or had I already like cast on? Well, either way, I'm doing my design series this year, and I don't think I actually told you guys what the theme was. I was kind of keeping it under wraps until I was seeing for sure if it was going to work out. So, I've said it so many times, I'm just going to tell you. If I didn't tell you, then I am now, and if I did, I'll just say it again. I am doing a set of 5 shawls, which I've told you, and the theme is going to be each of the seasons. So, the one I'm working on right now is spring, and then obviously there will be summer, fall, winter, and then the last one is going to be one that has a lace motif from each season.
Mommy, I didn't say that I
okay.
go to kindergarten.
You're not going to go to kindergarten. Stop. You're going to go to kindergarten when you're 5. Yeah. And I know you're excited. So, the one I'm working on right now is spring. They're all going to be half semicircle, half pie shawls. And this first one, I'm I joined the last color today. Whoops. I keep forgetting that my camera's not right here in the middle. I joined the last color today, which is this one. This is the Sour Apple colorway by Leading Men Fiber Arts. For the record, I already had this color joined, and the last motif did not work, and so I had to pull out 21 rows of almost 300 stitches. So then I just said, you know what, it needs to marinate for a little bit in my brain. So I set it aside for a little while, like, okay, we need to think. And that's when I made the poncho, and I feel like I worked on something else, but I guess it was just the poncho. It was perfect timing that, oh, I did work on the slippers for the retreat, and of course I didn't bring them in here. I'll show them to you next time. I have finished the first, well, I finished the foot of the first one, because that's kind of the base slipper. I want to add a leg part onto it, but I'm going to do the other slipper first and then play with it. So anyway, it looks really cool, and I'll show it to you next time. I knew there was other knitting that has gone on. So it starts out with this really pretty light green and then gradiates down. That is really glowing yellow here. It's not that yellow in person. These are a bad background, and I have kind of yellowish lights. You know, inside lights are kind of yellowy, so sorry. If you want to see a really good representation, go on to leadingmenfiberarts.bigcartel.com or leadingmenfiberarts.com, something like that, and look up Sour Apple. You'll see it's not that yellow at all. So, anyways, and it goes into this dark one. I have just kind of some different flower motifs as I go along. It'll look way better when it's blocked. Let's see if I can get this one. I have this one doesn't. I have a hard time holding this one out all the way very well, but you can't tell. But I promise it's a flower motif. And then this one you can tell because it's a really big tulip. How cool is that? I love it so much. And then I'm on the bottom part, and it's just taking shape. I'm hoping I don't have to play too much yarn chicken because this obviously has to be able to be replicated. We shall see. If my math holds true, then I should be fine, but that's all I have so far. So anyway, it's coming along swimmingly now that I've let it kind of marinate. And it's fitting in this really small bag, which is awesome. This is one of Priscilla's yarn boxes. You too can have one. If you go onto Etsy and look up Madsen Originals, M-A-D-S-E-N Originals. So, I know, right? Huge old shawl fits right in here. Love it. All right, look at that. I'm at 32 minutes. And I haven't recorded in 5 weeks. Good grief. I'm sure there's stuff that I have forgotten. I hope not. I mean, I did forget the slippers, but you'll see them. Just trying to think really quick if there's anything else I wanted to talk about. I don't think so. There is a Facebook page that you can follow that's Tran Designs. It's anytime I put up a new podcast or a new design, I will publish it, or I'll put a notification on there. There's a Tran Designs group on Ravelry. Yeah, please come to the retreat. You know you want to. I would love to meet you in person, or if you're a local person who I've met, or someone who's not local but I've met you, come so I can see your face, because I want to see all of you. And we have a ton of fun, and I promise, cross my heart, you will not regret it. She promises too. Tell them how much fun they'll have if they come to my retreat. Will they have so much fun?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you know that I'm going to kindergarten?
Not until you're 5, right?
Yeah, I'm going to turn 5 if I go to kindergarten.
And how old are you right now?
3.
You're 3. And you'll be 4 at your next birthday, huh?
Yeah.
Do you remember when your next birthday is?
Yeah.
When is it?
June.
June, that's right. Do you know what month it is right now?
Yeah.
What month is it?
February.
Good job. We're learning that in preschool. Huh,
Okay.
Quinny? Oh, do you want to tell them really quick what you made at preschool yesterday? What did we cook?
We cooked donuts.
Donuts. All right, I'm going to finish up. We were learning the letter O, and so I just took some Grand's biscuits and flattened them out and used a cup to make an O, put some cinnamon and sugar on them, and baked them. Nothing fancy. Super good, though.
And they turned to donuts.
Yeah, and they were good, huh?
Yeah.
Okay, we're going to say bye now, okay? Say, until next time.
Until next time.
Keep knitting.
Keep knitting.
Bye.
Bye.
Wave. Bye.